Good day everyone, and welcome back to DX Explorer for another video. I'm going to do a very quick introduction today just because it might end up being a long video. I started to receive some emails lately from YouTube subscribers, but mostly from blog readers asking about the way I'm creating schematics and PCB board designs and what software I am using. Older YouTube subscribers, if you remember, in the past I was using Express PCB, but that didn't allow me to export Gerber files, so I ended up moving to Eagle. I still haven't finished redesigning all the project files that I have on the website, but I'm going to work on that this December. Anyway, going back on this, I decided to make a video about the way I'm creating schematics, and probably in the another video I'm going to show you how I'm creating the PCB design and the whole process until ordering PCB boards. And talking about ordering PCB boards, there's nothing better than my friends at pcbway. You should go visit their website. They have some great deals for the winter holidays. Big discounts. They have some raffle available as well. I already won 3 things, by the way, and I'm excited about my next order so I can get my stuff, my little surprises. And remember, they have great PCB prototyping services, CNC, 3D printing, SMD stencils, and a lot more. And they also have a great store with a bunch of interesting things that you could order while you're ordering your PCB boards. I found a lot of interesting things over there, so I have my wish list full of couple of products already. Anyway, let's go on the computer and start with today's tutorial about building a schematic using Eagle. Okay, so first thing is to download Eagle. I'm just searching for download Eagle, and I'm not picking up the first link just because I don't like the fact that they've been acquired by Fusion 360. So for that reason, I know that in 2026 they will no longer be as they are. So I'm picking up the second link, and you just click on it. It will take you to the download page, and according to the operating system that you have, you will download the proper version that you need. And that's it. All you have to do is to install the software and we can start using it. Okay, so let's start with the tutorial. Sorry if the software might move slow from time to time, but unfortunately my computer is not that performant, and with the screen recording software it's even slower. So basically we open the software. Of course it's going to announce us that on June 7, 2026 Eagle will no longer be available. Click here for more information. I believe it was acquired by Fusion 360 and is very annoying, so probably in 2026 I will move to another software that it's a lot like older Eagle, the one that I'm using right now. So anyway, when we open the software, at the beginning it's going to be a little bit confusing, but it's not that hard, to be honest. I think from here, as a beginner, because remember, I'm not an engineer, I'm not an expert, I'm also learning still the software, and I'm a beginner just like you. But the 2 folders that I used the most, it was the library folder and the projects folder. In here I have all the projects that I created so far. I'm still working on a couple of new ones because remember, I have to redo all the project files that I have presented on the blog that I worked so far, so we can order PCB boards, and the libraries. Now in the libraries I created my own custom components library with the components that I'm using the most, just because remember, I'm using larger pads and also larger traces, so you can also create PCB boards at home using the toner transfer method. And by using the larger pads on the components, it allows everyone else to drill holes easier than I would I would do it with the really small pads, and we have to drill really tiny holes, which is pretty hard to do it at home, to be honest. And that's the reason I decided to start using pcbway and just simply order PCB boards, because it's a lot faster. So anyway, let's start. First thing, I'm going to right click on libraries and say use all, and this will help us to find components a lot easier. But right now I'm going to go to File, New, and I'm going to say New Schematic. and we're going to have another screen opening. I'm going to enlarge the screen, and over here you have a bunch of things. Over here in the left side you have a lot of things on the menu as well, but it's not so hard actually. Believe me, if you spend probably like half of a day going through all these menus and all these tools, you will figure out the software very easy, and you realize that it's not so hard to use, even though at the beginning it looks very complicated, especially if you're out of patience and you really want to build a schematic really quick or work on a project. Pick a day when you have a lot of patience and learn it, because it's not so hard. So right now we have to start by adding a part, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to grid. I'm not sure exactly what the experts are saying about this, but I do my own custom stuff. I click on to be on, I click dots, and in here I go to millimeters, but this is my personal preference, remember, and it's not the proper way to do this. 0.01, and probably later on I'm going to explain you why this is usually a mistake, but that's the way I prefer to work, and you know, it's the best way, is the best the way you feel comfortable with. So right now we're going to go to add part, and now I'm going to show you the easy way to find different components. Okay, so this screen opened up. So right now first we have to search for frames for frame. Okay, over here in this folder named frames, you will find a lot of frames available. I'm going to extend this screen, and this one even more. Actually, I'm going to bring it this way, but I think the one that we're looking for is this one, the horizontal A4 size, but in my DX Explorer folder I already have one, so I'm going to click OK. I'm going to go to this X over here, click, and then I'm going to go here. You can also click ESC, but I'm not going to do that because it's going to stop my screen recording software. So anyway, we created the frame. Now we're ready to add more components that we need for the schematic. So I'm going to replicate the PTT code transceiver that I created some while ago, and right now technically I would go to my DX Explorer library and search for the components that I need over there, but right now we're going to need a 2N2222. We're going to click enter, and it's going to search for it. You have a lot of them, different ones. This is the plastic case. This is showing you the how you call it. This is the schematic, and this is the footprint of the transistor and how it's going to look on the PCB board. Or you can use this one, which is a metallic case. This one, as you can see, it also has a 3D package, so when you finish, if you want, you can render the whole thing and view your PCB board with the components on it in 3D. I don't like doing that anyway, but I'm going to go to my library. I have larger parts over here. You see they're a little bit different than the usual one, so I'm going to use this one. I'm coming here, I'm going to click, and it's on the board. So anyway, we finished placing this one. I'm just going to continue adding other components. So I'm going to go to my own library, DX Explorer, somewhere over here, and let's say I need these tiny ceramic capacitors, so I'm going to place these ones. I need one for the input. I need 100 picofarads over here. I need you can click or right click and it's going to rotate the component. I need one over here, then I need one on the low pass filter, and I need another one on the low pass filter, and I will need another one on the output. and I will need another one on the audio part, and I believe that's it. Okay, now I'm going to click again, and I need resistors, so I will go to resistors, and I need vertical resistor, which is this one. I also have horizontal ones, but I will use vertical ones, so I'm going to need one over here and one over here. And anyway, I will do this until I have all the components that I need on the schematic. But what I want to show you is how to search. Sometimes I don't have the... Sometimes you can enter here the code of the component that you want. So if you have the product code by the manufacturer, you can enter it here, and sometimes you'll be able to find the exact component that you want to use in your PCB board. But right now, let's say I'm going to search for LM386. We're not going to use this one, but just in case. So we have this type over here, this type, this is SMD, I believe. Yep, this one too, this one, this is a through hole, this is also through hole, and also through hole, and this one as well. So let's say we're going to use this one. But anyway, I'm again, if you want to delete components, you go to delete, you come here, you click on it. Another thing, let's say you want to reverse this transistor, so we're going to go over here to mirror, and you click on the component, and it's going to mirror. Another thing that it might be useful to know, let's say I want to move this text, you click on this X and then you right click, and it's going to rotate it, and you place the text where you want. And we're going to do the same over here, click, left click, and then right click, and we'll put it over here. If you want to move the components little by little, you click the Alt key and then left click, and you move it slowly. If you don't click the Alt click, it's going to move it in increments of 1 millimeter. And let's say I want to name this capacitor C4, so I'm going to right click here on this X, click on name, I'm going to say it's C4, click OK. What I did, yeah, sorry, I need to click on that. I click this differently, so I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to say value, I'm going to say yes, and let's say this is 470 picofarads. Alright, that's what we have, and this is how you rename components, and you put the value over there as well. Probably at some point, but I think there are a lot of tutorials available online. It will teach you how to create your own custom components with your own footprint. But if I have the time, I will probably add one more video at some point about that and show you how I make my own custom components. But for the sake of this tutorial, trying to keep it short, I'm not going to go in that deep into the whole thing. So this, I know it's C2, so I'm going to rename it C2. And I know this is, I'm going to change the value to 100 picofarads, and this one gets connected to the base. Oops, sorry, cancel. I have to click on this cross. Usually I click the ESC key, but I cannot do that because it's going to turn off my screen recording. Now we have to connect these two components together. I'm going to go here to the net command, and I click over here and then over here, and now they're connected. Because I don't want to waste your time, basically I'm just going to add all the components and finish the whole schematic, and then I'll show you what's the next step that you have to do. Alright, so this is the PTTico finished finally. It took me a while. So what we're going to do right now is to check this for any possible errors. Sometimes it happens that the connections between components might not be perfect, and it's going to tell you that there is let's say there's a line between them but is not properly connected, so you have to redo that connection. But anyway, for that we have to go to Tools, and I'm going to click here on Errors, and I believe I get nothing, so that's a good thing. And I also click on here, ERC, and nothing over here either, so that's good. That means I don't have any errors. But sometimes you have errors. Let me see, if I delete this one and I delete this one, let's make a connection over here. Let's see if it's going to take it as an error. Tools, sorry, errors. Yeah, I don't have any errors, so it's properly connected, but usually it's going to appear over here, or warnings or anything else. Frame has no value, so basically it's about this frame, but I don't care about this frame anyway, so I also usually I click here on approve. But right now, let's say I want to approve this one. I approve this error, I'm okay with it, I don't care if the frame has no value. So yeah, this is the entire schematic. What you can do, for example, I want to move this schematic because I want to build another module in the same schematic, and I click here on Group, I select with a left click continuously pressed, I select all the components, and then let's say I'm going to click over here and move all of them anywhere I want in this frame. Anyway, let's leave it on the center, and then I click outside, and then I go back to normal. So yeah, it's very easy to create a schematic. It's it's not complicated at all. By building one schematic, you will realize very quick the usual errors that appear, and it's very easy to figure out for later projects what you have to try to avoid. I think the most common one for me, just because I'm using this grid, the custom grid, click on dots. Usually I use millimeters, and here I put 1 millimeter, and over here 0.001, just so I can move the components exactly the way I want. So I bring them closer, and I use a little space as possible. But because of I'm doing that, sometimes I get those errors when I connect the traces between the components. So yeah, maybe that's one of the mistakes that I should avoid by doing schematics this way. So yeah, anyway, that's it. All you have to do after that is save your schematic, or you can save as, and you can save it as a different schematic or a different project. But for me, basically, I saved it. Yeah, now it's moving slow. You can give it a different name. So what I do, for example, what I showed you at the beginning, you started with the schematic, but basically you should start with a new project. I'm going to call this one test, and in this project I'm going to open a new schematic, and of course this one I'm going to save it test, save as test, because for each of these projects there is a folder created in My Documents on your computer in Eagle. And if you go in the folder name projects, you will find all of these projects. They have their own folder with all the files over there. And In the next tutorial, probably tomorrow, I'm going to show you step by step how you can create the well, not very in depth, but you'll have an idea about how to create a PCB board, how to export the Gerber files, and then how to can order PCB boards and also verify the PCB design that you just created. So anyway, it's not a very in-depth tutorial, but it's showing you the basics and how simple it is to actually create oh, sorry, I have to close the project and then delete it. So it's just to show you how easy it is to create a project and come on, to work on a schematic, and even though it might seem very difficult at the beginning, it's actually not that difficult at all. So it's very, very simple to use. And yeah, what do I have here? My minimalist transmitter. These are all the projects that I already created, and they are available in the blog articles and also on the pcbway website. You can order PCB boards. Very, very simple projects, and these are the stuff that I like. So anyway, I hope you found this useful, and I hope it's helpful, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow with part 2 of this video, creating PCB boards. Thank you for watching, and until tomorrow, 73, and I'll see you soon.